Hello everyone. You are someone and I am someone else. And today we're going to be talking about there are only two types of economies in the world. This is what we're going to be talking about. Two types of economies, right? There are only two ways to incentivize people. That's what I mean. Not two types of economies, but you could argue that they do have names. Um, and the two types are force or profit. There's no really any other in between. Profit means you can, work and then you produce something and then hopefully down the line you can sell it. You might sell it for a loss, meaning you're inefficient, or you sell it for a profit or a gain for a profit, which means you are efficient at allocating resources. The only other way to incentivize people to do something is by force. However, this breaks the voluntary transaction contract theory. And I would argue that that's what socialist countries do. I would argue any economy that uses force is a socialist economy. In fact, I do think we are actually part socialist in the United States. We have conscription, even though we haven't used it since the 1970s during the Vietnam War. We have taxes, which violate the 10th Amendment and also violate Section 9 of the Constitution. Amendment 16 violates Section 9 of the Constitution, although you could argue because they passed it, technically, it doesn't. So, I mean, you could argue that, but I don't think I would ever really, as me as a libertarian, would not say that. But that's besides the point, right? So, again, I would say we're part forceful in our economy and part voluntary. And I would say the forceful part of our economy is weakening our ability to do as many voluntary transactions as possible. And we must limit the amount of force the state has on us. Yes, we can use some force, but I don't know how you would put criminals in their own jail. You know what I mean? Like, if everything was not forced, right? I don't know how criminals would go to jail. So you do need some force. I would say order would be the correct word, order. But those are only two ways to incentivize people. I haven't really seen. You can't incentivize people through sex drive that much. I mean, yes, you can, but I haven't seen very many people get paid through sex except for men, whatever, and men. Rarely that's ever going to happen because women just seem to not value themselves to that standard. So it's like those are really the only two ways to value something in an economy. Sex drive is really not going to incentivize people. Friendship's not going to incentivize people. I mean, I hear all the time, if people just became friends and collectivized, that we wouldn't need force or profit. We just help each other. But I don't think you can run an economy on that. I think profit or voluntary transaction, because again, somebody's always going to be both people actually with short term they will lose, but long term wise, as long as it's not a scam, they will win. In the transaction theory, anyway, at least what the Austrians believe. So as long as there's voluntarism, meaning you're willing to give up something for something else, you found it with your own labor, or you just have it, and you have ownership of this thing, you give it to somebody else, well, you don't have it anymore, but hopefully you got something out of it. And again, somebody might make way more profit off the thing you just sold to them, or the thing you just gave them, than what you got from them. So, I mean, you could be buying, a cracker. They should be buying your dollar. You get their dollar bill. They use that dollar bill for capital goods to produce more things, and the cycle repeats, meaning you can buy more crackers from them or whatever, or other consumers can buy more crackers. Currency is a good way of exchange of, it's a good way to value things, because the currency is more movable than crackers or labor. Like, how do you define how many hours of labor goes into a cracker compared to a car? How do you value that? The labor theory of value is wrong. That's what I've always said. I've said it multiple times now on this YouTube channel. I'll probably make a dedicated YouTube video to it. Labor is just one puzzle to basically multiple things in a economy. I think the Austrians are, I'd say, wrong on what makes a company a business a business. I do actually believe that. So I will make a video responding to the Austrian school a little bit. But I also will make a video responding to the labor theory of value, which is a socialist theory of value. I disagree with the labor theory of value completely. But besides the point. So in a socialist economy, they mostly use force. I could be wrong. You socialists might disagree with me, or they believe in collectivism or whatever. And then capitalist economies, for the most part, believe in voluntary transactionism, obviously, in some regard. Not always, but generally. I mean, you put your capital in something. That is, you willingly give up your capital for hopefully an interest rate on the money. And hopefully that interest rate isn't a scam. Hopefully they're not scamming you with your money. Anyway, you are someone else explaining the two different types of incentivizing people in an economy. Goodbye.